Hello, my name is Lacey Triplett. Thank you for watching my video presentation showcasing my ePortfolio website. The purpose of this website is to provide a record of my studies through the Masters of Education, Instructional Technology and Curriculum and Instruction program, and showcase assignments and projects that highlight my instructional design technology abilities, skills, and performance that I have acquired from the program coursework. Products of the coursework, or as we will call them, artifacts, have been selected to address 5 areas of national standards developed by the AECT, or the Association for Educational Communications and Technologies. So first, let me show you around. My web address is portfolio4ltriplet.com. Here's my home page. Here are my professional accomplishments, some pictures about me, why you should hire me, work with me, or follow me. And there's my autobiographical narrative, which provides some information about previous education, briefly states my work experience, and explains how the MED program has assisted in helping me to achieve or figure out my career goals. For more information about my background education and work experience, please see my resume that's listed right there. When you click on that tab, here are the colleges that I've attended: AA degree at PHSC, bachelor's from St. Leo, and now a master's from USF. Here's a contact form, or you can click the link to email me. I utilize WordPress to create my website, so that makes it easier. You don't have to sign in. Just go to portfolio4ltriplet.com. I used this image on my homepage. I thought that it depicted a path, kind of like what I'm on as I gain my master's degree and continue through life. Here is the presentation page. This is where I will put the presentation that I'm currently doing. Portfolio tab has a drop-down menu. Here you can easily access the standards introduction, and each standard and the reflection. We'll go ahead and, there's the resume, and then there's more contact information. So let's go here now to the standards introduction. The standards introduction provides a brief overview that describes how each of my artifacts meet the 5 AECT standards and a little bit about my academic goals. Throughout each standard, as we hit the page, I'll go briefly into how each standard meets, how each artifact meets the standard. However, for time's sake, I won't be able to go too much into detail. You can see here that the standards are broken down, and each paragraph tells a little bit about the artifacts that I've chosen. I've chosen 3 artifacts for each standard. So here, let's go to Standard 1. Standard 1 is content knowledge. Candidates demonstrate the knowledge necessary to create, use, assess, and manage theoretical and practical applications of educational technologies and processes. For Artifact 1, Artifact 1, I use Substandard 1.1, Creating. Candidates demonstrate the ability to create instructional materials and learning environments using a variety of systems approaches. So I chose the artifact of the Language Arts Corner. I created this in the Internet and Education course. It was the culminating project of that course, and I felt like it best met this creating standard because I used HTML and CSS to create this website. And then each assignment that's linked to it utilized other technology to create the different assignments within it. Artifact 2 is using Standard 1.2. Candidates demonstrate the ability to select and use technological resources and processes to support student learning and enhance their pedagogy. Here I chose an English Canvas course that I created. It has several learning modules in it, and in each one, students use different technologies to create the assignments. For Artifact 3, Standard 1.4, candidates demonstrate the ability to effectively manage people, processes, physical infrastructures, and financial resources to achieve a predetermined goal. The predetermined goal in this case was creating the school choice special reports, in which I had to manage different interviewers, different people I had to interview, and I also had to maintain a budget. I had to produce the entire video and film it, so I definitely had to manage my resources and my time. Let's go on to Standard 2. Standard 2 is content pedagogy. Candidates develop as reflective practitioners able to demonstrate effective implementation of educational technology and processes on contemporary content and pedagogy. So here I chose Substandard 2.1, creating, and candidates apply content pedagogy to create appropriate applications and processes and technologies to improve learning and performance outcomes. So for this one, I chose a case study for Kayla, and I had to create different learning strategies based on theories. For Artifact 2, we use Substandard 2.1, using. Candidates implement appropriate educational technologies and processes based on appropriate content pedagogy. For this one, I used a performance assessment from the Foundations of Measurement course, and I had to use a variety of different background knowledge to perform a task, and then create a project that would meet the learning needs of the students. So then for Artifact 3, it's Substandard 2.3, assessing and evaluating. Candidates demonstrate an inquiry process that assesses the adequacy of learning and evaluates the instruction and implementation of educational technologies and processes grounded in reflective practice. So the adult learner final project was utilized. For this one, there was a case study, and I had to then utilize reflective practices and assess the adequacy of learning and teaching methods for each case. Now let's go on to Standard 3. Standard 3 is learning environments. Candidates facilitate learning by creating, using, evaluating, and managing effective learning environments. So here is Artifact 1. Substandard 3.3, assessing and evaluating. Candidates use multiple assessment strategies to collect data for informing decisions to improve instructional practice, learner outcome, and the learning environment. So this is the Snake Invaders game that I created with Rachel Martin and the development of technology-based instructions. For this game, we had to assess and evaluate learners' needs and utilize feedback from various inputs to create the game. So Artifact 2, Standard 3.4, managing. Candidates establish mechanism for maintaining the technology infrastructure to improve learning and performance. So this is the final project for technology project management. For this course, there was a lot of managing that had to be done, so that way there you could utilize project management frameworks and designate roles and progress through the iterations of the specified framework. For Artifact 3, I use Substandard 3.6, diversity of learners. Candidates foster a learning community that empowers learners with diverse backgrounds, characteristics, and abilities. So for this, it's a teaching philosophy infographic that I created, and with it, you want to model respect, and it talks about different learning theories and how to manage a community that encourages diversity. Okay, let's go on to Standard 4. Moving right along. Standard 4. We have professional knowledge and skills. Candidates design, develop, implement, and evaluate technology-rich learning environments within a supportive community of practice. So Artifact 1, Standard 4.1, collaborative practice. Candidates collaborate with their peers and subject matter experts to analyze learners, develop and design instruction, and evaluate its impact on learners. So for this one, we utilize the Duolingo app usability report from Interactive Media course. We had to work together as a team. Here are my team members. It was Team Green, and we had to create a usability report to see if learners preferred using this app. For Artifact 2, it was substandard 4.2 leadership. Candidates lead their peers in designing and implementing technology-supported learning. So here's an augmented reality in the future 5th grade classroom video from the Current Trends Instructional Technology course. For this one, it discusses augmented reality and its uses in a 5th grade classroom. Here's Artifact 3, Substandard 4.3, Reflection on Practice. Candidates analyze and interpret data and artifacts and reflect on the effectiveness of the design, development, and implementation of technology-supported instruction and learning to enhance their professional growth. So for here, it's the Snake Invaders game Reflection. The reflection, I had to reflect back on developing this game, where I worked closely with my partner and my instructor and the USF subject matter expert. So it was definitely a lot of reflection and ways that we could improve the game in the future. So that's Standard 4. Standard 5 is research. Candidates explore, evaluate, synthesize, and apply methods of inquiry to enhance learning and improve performance. So for Artifact 1, I use Substandard 5.1 Theoretical Foundations. Candidates demonstrate foundational knowledge of the contribution of research to the past and current theory of educational communications and theory. So for this one, I utilize the Motivated Gifted Students report. Excuse me. And with this report, it discusses different theoretical frameworks that are involved in motivating students that are gifted. For Artifact 2, Standard 5.2 method, candidates apply research methodologies to solve problems and enhance practice. So for this one, it's motivation and distance education. And this one talks about different methodologies that can be used to motivate all learners in distance education. Artifact 3 is Standard 5.4 ethics. Candidates conduct research and practice using accepted professional and institutional guidelines and procedures. So for this, we utilized an instructional design plan. This was created with a group, and it talks about using smartphone photography. And for it, we had to ethically meet with different individuals to see how they utilize their smartphone. So there we go. We have a reflection next, and I'm moving through quickly just to show you my reflection here. You can read through it at your leisure. And my resume, you can click here and it will bring you to the resume. Here is the contact. And for each of the standards, please note that each image is a clickable link, so you can click it to go directly to the artifact that's there. So I want to say thank you very much for watching my video. I appreciate your time, and I hope you see that my artifacts meet the AECT standards, that my website utilizes different forms of instructional design since it's cohesive. It utilizes the same fonts, headings, and colors throughout. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody at USF and all the professors that made this such a great learning opportunity. Thank you.